Thanks so much to the MLS for sending us the shirt that Sam and the rest of the players are going to be wearing. This is the MLS All Star kit. It's MLS All Star Week. The game's on Wednesday, as you can see there. But leading up to it, we've got MLS Next All Star Game, so you can see the next future stars of the MLS, some of the academy players who will be in show on that one, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on July the 21st. We've got the Skills Challenge, which should be interesting. The day after that, 9 p.m. Eastern, then the All Stars from MLS against Liga MX's All Stars on July the 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. We got a chance to chat to a few of the players involved earlier today, including the league's joint top scorer, Sam Surridge. Here is the striker on his prolific start to the season. Sam, what a season it's been for you so far. You're the league's joint top scorer. Did you ever think you'd be alongside Lionel Messi in the stats category for scoring goals?
I don't know, it's hard. I back myself. But yeah, it's obviously an amazing, well, I say achievement. I haven't achieved anything yet, but it's nice to be along people like that. So yeah, I've just got to keep it going and hopefully I can stay there.
And what's worked so well for this national team this year? Because you went through a few coaches last year, and all of a sudden things are clicking phenomenally well. What has gotten you to the point where you're now top of the league in goals scored?
I think just collectively as a team, it's always been about that. I think last season we did struggle, but see BJ's come in. He's changed the work ethic, changed the dynamic of the team. A lot of new faces as well. I think that's obviously. It's helped, but yeah, I think along with all that, the start of the season, I've come into it confident. I know we've got a good team, and it's just on me to kind of score the goals. So yeah, hopefully, I just want to keep it going.
Sam, before you came stateside, obviously you enjoyed a long time playing in English football, various different clubs. Just give us a sense of how much you're enjoying playing in MLS.
Yeah, I love it. It's very different to the English league, very different to all European leagues, but. I like that. It's very unique. I've always wanted to go abroad, and yeah, in the US, you travel into different places all the time, and it's amazing because you can see everywhere. And yeah, I'm loving playing here. The Nashville fans have been great with me, and yeah, the whole club has. So I'm loving my time.
Sam, you guys are on your way to an Open Cup semifinal against either Philadelphia or New York Red Bulls. What kind of, how much do you guys back yourselves to not just do well in that tournament, but in all the tournaments you guys are in right there at the top of the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, we wanted to win a trophy. I think that's the main thing. We're doing well in both of them so far, but yeah, like I said, it's the semi-final. We need to get to the final first, and then yeah, we back ourselves to win them. And I think we set ourselves goals at the start of the season, and we wanted to win a trophy, be the first Tennessee team to win a major competition. And yeah, we're on our way to do that. We just need to keep doing it.
The All-Star experience is not something we necessarily have back home in England. How much have you been enjoying being part of it, and you're looking forward to playing in that game?
Yeah, it is very unique. It's obviously you get to play with some really good players. Training today was brilliant. Obviously getting to know some of the lads, and yeah, a few familiar faces, but also getting to know people I don't know, and it's good because everyone comes together this week, and then yeah, we're back to business, I'd say, on the weekend.
Just lastly, really quickly, what about the country music scene in Nashville? Have you been checking that out?
Do you know what? When I first come, I did, but slowly but surely, it's not my favourite type of music, but. I appreciate it. I gave it a go, but now yeah, it's not first on my Spotify.
Yeah, we'll leave the Stetson and cowboy boots to the locals, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Sam. We'll leave it there.
That's fun. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. Good luck.
Cheers.
Yeah, staying well clear of the Grand Old Opry and all the rest of it in Nashville. Thanks so much to the MLS for sending us the shirt that Sam and the rest of the players are going to be wearing. This is the MLS All Star kit that we will see the players in on Wednesday. I wanted to pick up on one of the points that he made. I think it was in answer to the first question, where he was talking about moving over from playing in England and then having success in MLS. What do you think he meant by that? What are the skills that you need, whether you're playing in England, Italy, or you're anywhere else in Europe, that do translate well to playing over here in the States?
I think one of the more difficult things is not necessarily what you have to do, but what the league presents to you. It's a different kind of style of football, whereas generally in other countries, I would say there's one sort of national character, whereas the 30 clubs in MLS can all play completely differently, travel, time zones, heat during the summer. I think there was an adjustment period, and I think there's something about the way that BJ Callahan has the national side set up this year that has allowed him to flourish and allowed them to flourish, because Hani Mukhtar's having a great season, Ani Nahar, Sam Surridge are all MLS All Stars this season. So I think he has just brought that level of skill that he has in other competitions and finally is able to express it in the setup of this team.
It's working pretty well for the Englishman so far. We also got a chance to chat to Vancouver Whitecaps US men's national team midfielder Sebastian Berhalter. Here he is on the improvements to his game and his increased role in Mauricio Pochettino's team recently as well. Sebastian, it's been something of a breakout season for you. I suppose you could call it that. What area of your game this season do you feel has improved the most, both for club and country?
Yeah, I think it's the ability to get in the box. I think in years past, it wasn't always something I really emphasized, or the coaching staff was emphasizing to me. And then this year Jesper came in and wanted me to be one of the best in the league at it. And that's what I've been trying to do, and it's been working.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Jesper Sorensen because he's been an inspirational coach for Vancouver this season. You guys get to a CONCACAF Champions Cup final. What has changed? What has he told you, both individually and collectively, that has allowed you guys to improve so much?
Yeah, I think he gives us a lot of confidence. I think that's one thing. He's, first to be, patting on our backs when we're doing well, but then also, he'll be the first to critique us. And I think that balance, he does a really good job at. He's also really good at understanding players, and understanding what they need in certain moments. And tactically he's great. Tactically he's, one of the best coaches I've played for. And, it's good knowing you have a coach who can, switch it up at any time during the game.
You're second in the Western Conference at the moment. Has that changed kind of expectations for this season? And what is the target as we sort of head throughout the season now?
Yeah, the target's to win the MLS Cup. I think nothing changes. Whether you win games or lose games, you kind of keep your goals or targets the same. So that's been our target since day one, and that's what we're going to keep going towards.
Let's talk national team with Mauricio Pochettino bringing you in and making you a key part of the team during the course of the Gold Cup. What was it like working under him, and how do you feel like your role within the national team grew as that Gold Cup went on?
Yeah, he's great. I keep saying he's such a personable guy, and he wants to get to know about your family, not just the player you are on the field, but the person you are off the field. And, to me, I think I really value that, and that's a nice feeling. And he put a lot of trust in me. I think kind of had to come in and earn my stripes, and try to take advantage of every opportunity I had. And I was happy. I was just doing my best, and obviously came up short a little bit in the finals, which is definitely disappointing. But looking back on it, really good experience.
When you got that opportunity, and obviously there was that narrative going into the tournament, wasn't there, about some of the star players not available, but that was great for you and other young players getting that chance to be in the starting lineup. Did you feel almost a bit of pressure to shine, given the fact we've got the World Cup over here next year, that this is your chance and you've got to seize it?
No, I don't think so. I think you just take it, one game at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time. I think once you start looking, further ahead, I think that's when, you get yourself in a little bit of trouble. So for me, I just, I got nothing to lose. Go in there and just give it my best, and, whatever comes out, the end result, it is what it is. It's how it's supposed to happen.
How would you say, in terms of the actual playing of the game, it's different in Vancouver versus with the national team? How is your role different? How do you play the game differently under Poch than in Vancouver?
Yeah, I think in Vancouver, I'm probably a little bit lower. With Pochettino, I played 6 and 8, so I kind of a little bit of both based on who was on the field. I think also with the national team, he gives me, a lot of freedom to really get forward, and then kind of like find spaces more. I think in Vancouver we have a little bit more, structure with things, and it's good and bad in ways. And again with national team, it's great because I can kind of pick up the ball and find different spaces, and he lets me just be myself, and it's fun. It's fun playing for the national team.
I know you've only just arrived, but how much are you looking forward to being part of the MLS All Star Game and representing your club there as well?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Obviously, anytime you get to represent your team, your club at a bigger stage, it means a lot. And hopefully you can go out there and make people back home proud. Proud that you have Vancouver has 4 All Stars, and we're gonna go out there and try to do our best.
I hate to kind of reduce it to what's Messi like, but when you're playing with some of these guys that have done an enormous amount in the game, is it going to be kind of an interesting pinch yourself moment to share a locker room with some of those big all-stars, some of these world legends that are in the team?
Yeah, I think so. I think, these are guys that have played and almost done everything, and, a guy is just, kind of just 6th year here and, just playing the MLS, you try to take things from them. Obviously they're really experienced. So for me, it's about learning too. And yeah, if you get to share the field with Messi, I think that'd be one of the coolest moments of my life.
Sebastian, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.